birthday. I think you're going to really enjoy this month. And one of the really strong message I'm getting here is that something you've been working on is finally showing a lot of results, okay? And you know, a lot of the times we say that hard work pays off, right? And we know deep down that hard work pays off, but we rarely see it pan out in the real world in a way that is tangible, in a material way. And this is the month that you're going to start to see it. You're going to start to see visible results for the hard work that you put into something from the past. And I feel specifically, if you are working with children, if you're working in any type of a mentorship capacity where you had somebody that came in without life skills, you had somebody that came in without with a really, you know, dampened sense of self-esteem, without like structure, without a framework as to how they can get through life, as to how they can do something. And if you've been nurturing them, you know, like showering a lot of compliments on them to help them grow into to be more confident, to be more productive with their time, and to be a better, more productive human being, like a functional person, and to contribute to society. And I feel a lot of young energies around you. So if you've been dealing with a child or somebody that you're mentoring, you're going to start to see a lot of behavioral change in them that will allow you to basically, it's like serving as validation and confirmation of your past hard work, okay? So some major changes is coming through in that person's life, and you're going to see like a noticeable personality change, lifestyle change that's going to happen for your environment, in their environment. So I do feel hard work is really paying off. For others of you, if you've been like nurturing something, and I see like watering something, so this can be like putting a lot of your time, doing a lot of hand holding in order to guide something, to guide somebody, in order to take care of something. This is the month in which things are coming in full bloom, okay? So I see you in this garden, and everything is like growing, you know, everything is thriving, everything is growing. So I do sense that in that way, you're going to be able to see the returns on your labor, to see everything that you've worked on really hard in the past come to fruition. And I do feel for majority, it is mentorship capacity that we're talking about here. And it is like indicative of, you know, like putting in a lot of hard work and seeing the results, putting in a lot of time. And I feel like while you were doing this, there was a lot of opposition, okay? Like people were telling you, what are you doing? Why are you devoting your time nurturing or, you know, caring for a lost cause? This is not your responsibility and you shouldn't have to do this. But I feel that for a lot of you, sometimes I feel like Virgos, you do things not because, you know, it's fair, not because it's expected of you, but it is because it's the right thing to do. And a lot of you were you were focusing on the end goal, you know, the long-term results, not just the immediate hardships that you're dealing with. But I feel that a lot of you have been in situations where you had to harness, break through a lot of your own negative self-talk, and to overcome your self-doubt, to overcome opposition from other people in order to do what you perceive is the right thing. And as a result, I feel that the universe is giving you a lot of blessings and a lot of, I feel like, means in order for you to do something. So you were pushing against this huge obstacle. And there might have been times, honestly, I feel like you felt like giving up. You felt like, let me just abandon this project and work on something else because it's not coming to fruition fast enough. And if you have been diligent, if you kept pushing forward, I do feel that you're going to see the fruits of your labor. And it's going to culminate for you in a really beautiful and wonderful way. What I'm also sensing is that I feel for a lot of you, there has been like some type of a major lifestyle change. and is bringing a lot of good energies your way, and it's also bringing about things. Things are turning around in a very positive manner, and I feel like it might be on the material front, okay? And you have to scrap away, like the self doubt in order to know what it is that you're doing, in order to like see the end result, see the end goal, and to keep pushing yourself forward. And like I said, there were times where you're just like, let me cut my losses and move on to a different route. But I do feel things are really coming full circle for this month. um I do see a lot of movement, a lot of travel. That's also happening too. And I feel like that's going to really broaden up your horizon, okay? That's going to really bring good energies your way, new energy, new people, new ways of doing, like new spiritual insights, as well as practical information, practical insights, so that you can implement something, so that you know how to understand the ins and out of why something is the way it is, so that you can fix it. And a lot of the times we can't really implement major deep rooted changes until we get to the root of the problem, right? So you might encounter a problem, and in the past you might have just tackled it on a very surface level because you thought that was all there is to it. This is the month in which you're able to dig deep and you're able to understand the mechanisms, like the underlying mechanism of why something turned out the way it did, so that you can tackle something from the root, like some deep rooted um, issue that affected that problem that no one else knows about, or no one else like um, anticipated. So there's a little bit of a creative problem solving coming through, and I feel that it's gonna break open something and to bring to so once you get to the root of the problem and the underlying cause, and people in the past might have been like, no, that's not it, you're delving in the wrong direction, but your gut instinct was telling you, no, this is something that's worth looking into. So I'm not going to believe what other people are saying. I'm going to do some digging for myself. And this is the month in which you are unearthing a solution to solve a problem and to see something come to fruition as a result of creative thinking, thinking outside the box, doing things in a very unorthodox manner. So that's coming through. I'm getting a lot of spiritual insights. I'm getting a lot of like guidance, and I feel like you're being inspired in a way that is really. I feel like you're being inspired in a way that is like it's not normal. You're getting a lot of spiritual like wisdom, insights in how to do something, and how to manage something, and how to unearth and solve problems in a different way from what you're used to in the past. Okay, so this is a very, very transformative month I'm seeing across the board based on these cards. Okay, so it's very other focus, and it's also very interpersonal relationship focus as well. So let's go through this reading here. Let me see if there's anything else that I saw when I was shuffling the cards here. I feel like they're telling you, push forward, don't jump ship, don't abandon projects. And this is not something that you're not one to abandon projects. I don't feel that. Earth signs in general are not people that are flighty. They jump from one thing to the next. But I feel like you were feeling very, very discouraged at a very low point in your life, and you were pushing forward with something, and you're just like, it's not working out. What do I do? You were thinking about cutting your losses. You were thinking about scrapping it together, all together. You were thinking about compromising. I feel almost like, I don't want to say selling out, but it seems to me as if like you were pushing so hard and you were so adamant about it, and you're just like, it's not really working, and I've invested so much energy and so much time, and it's not coming out the way that I want. So I feel like I need to abandon projects. But I feel that you're getting some spiritual insights to how to creatively re-examine or to approach this problem from a different angle, and as a result you're getting some really, really solid breakthroughs that are coming through for this month. Okay, so really beautiful energy, and I do feel that you're going to be quite happy with the results that you're getting. So let's go into this situation here. We do have the Hierophant and the Two of Pentacles. So first of all, the Hierophant indicates institution, structure, rigidity. It also indicates dealing with people who are very, very fixed in their ways, and it's almost like a very dogmatic type of an energy, okay? A lot of you might be in a work environment that is very, very structure, process oriented, and it's very slow to change, and I feel that you might feel it being a little bit too restricted for you, okay? Like too restrictive for you. And this indicates a lot of like conformity as well. So you're either in a family situation where people are just like, this is the way things have been done since, you know, the beginning of time. So as a result, you're going to have to conform, and you're going to have to do it the way everyone has been doing it. And you're just like, wait a minute, it hasn't really worked out in the past, so why are all these rules in place? So the rules and the regulations you're starting to see are basically roadblocks, or like red tape to getting the results that the organization, the company, or you know, whatever work environment that is, everyone is doing the same things in the same manner, and they're not really changing themselves. There's very little innovation. So as a result, it's like it's not fast yielding enough, and you're starting to see that all these regulations are put in place as hindrance to creative thinking, to entrepreneurship, and to, you know, innovation. So you're working in this type of environment, okay? For others of you in the home front as well, you might have had like a very, very traditional orthodox type of bringing, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you feel that it's not innovative enough, and you feel that some things from your past childhood conditioning, ways in which you were taught, things that you were like indoctrinated with as a child, you believe them to be true, and this is the month in which all of these things are being brought up for examination, for questioning. I do sense that, you know, you're usually a very uh, I guess like you're slow to act, but this is the month in which mental energy is coming through heavily, so that you can re-examine these things, and that you can re-examine like why are they in place, why are these policies in place, because they're getting in the way of streamlining work processes, they're getting in the way of efficiency and productivity, and you're going to find ways to address these issues, bring them up for review when it comes to dealing with supervisors, your manager. You're going to talk very honestly and candidly about what you see are the real problems. And I feel that you're going to be put in a position where a higher authority asked you, hey, how do you feel about that? What is your take on this? Because they trust your skills, they trust your expertise, they trust your honest and unbiased assessment. So they're going to take what you say into consideration. So my advice here is to be very, very honest, okay? It's not about conforming to whatever has been done before. It's more about like identifying some of the drawbacks that have been implemented in new procedures or existing procedurals manual, in order to move something along in a more streamlined, in a more efficient manner. It's linked up here with the Two of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles linked up with the Hierophant indicates to me it's kind of like a dilemma, and I hear ethical or moral dilemma, but I don't feel that it's you're not the ones to, you know, sell your soul to the devil. I don't feel that's the case. But I feel like maybe when I review, you know, all these things that's going wrong in the work environment, I might be throwing somebody under the bus, or I might like really shake up things that might not be, I might touch on topics that are a little bit sensitive. I might rub some people the wrong way, or I might have to be very, very careful about not rocking the boat, you know, too much. So do I really want to rock the boat? or do I really want to, keep things status quo? So I feel like you're grappling with this dilemma about like, do I, push through all the way? Or do I hold back a little bit and just give them enough to go off on without incriminating myself, without incriminating anybody? And how much change do I really want to implement? So a lot of you are starting to feel like, I feel like this David and Goliath type of energy coming through where you're just like, I'm dealing with this very, very rigid, company, institution, and I'm only one person. Can I really make that big of a change, big of an impact? Should I just like, slink away and be under the radar and just, work behind the scenes? Or do I really want to rock the boat? And I feel that, we do have Mercury in retrograde, and you are ruled by Mercury, so you're going to be heavily, heavily affected when it comes to your communication, when it comes to your thinking, when it comes to the way you process information. I feel that this information is being brought to light again for you to either defend or sweep under the rug. And this is a really good month for you to stand up for your own truths, stand up and not be concerned with conformity. I feel that's going to be really important, okay? So you're grappling with some big dilemmas here about whether or not I want to just remain anonymous or do I want to rock the boat. And I feel that it is in a very, very big way. So stick to your guns. You have some very strong divine protection, and whatever you say is going to transform a situation, I feel, in a really positive light. So say what you need to say. People are asking you mainly because they respect your assessment. They trust your judgment, okay? I hope that makes sense. That is coming through very, very strongly in the work environment. I do feel as well, a lot of you are thinking about a major, major career shift, okay? So you might be shifting from working in an organization, working behind the scenes. This is like employment, like traditional, typical employment where you're working for other people. You're working under the mandates of other people. And you might be trying to venture into self-employment. And if you are shifting in that direction, you're going to be really, really successful. You're going to be really happy. So I definitely feel you're still grappling. You're still like debating. You're still weighing out the pros and cons. Of course, everything in life, there are always pros and cons. But this is a really good month for you to give this another thought. Don't implement anything because Mercury in retrograde is going to run until, and you're really wanting to push ahead, okay, because you feel that working in this type of a rigid capacity might not be the best application of your skills and your assets, like the things you're back of your mind. But I do feel shifting overall to self-employment is very lucrative and financially rewarding for a lot of you. In terms of health, this deals with mental health and physical health, okay? The first thing here is we do have the Tower as well as the Star. Both of these things appearing in next to one another can be very, very conflicting. So I'm going to talk about them individually, and then I'm going to pull out another card to see which area of your life this mainly pertains to, but I want to talk about the interpretations first. So the Tower is a major, major transformation. It is a rebuilding effort. Something that has been built on false foundation is crumbling down, is dismantling right before our eyes. It's happening very quickly, very swiftly, and this is something that I feel that a lot of you, you're very foundationally oriented. So that means whatever you do, it's built on, solid ground. Whatever you do, you think about it very, very carefully before you do it. So if you see the Tower, it basically means like long ago, you knew that it wasn't going to work. You knew that it was going to come crumbling down like a house of cards. And you might have been, just bracing yourself for impact. You might have been like, oh, let me just get through today, but I know this is gonna come crumbling down. And then, the next day it's like, oh, not yet, but it's gonna come crumbling down. And finally it does for this month. And I do feel that it deals with communication between people, especially when it comes to like um if you're working in a rigid environment, if you're dealing with someone who is especially very, very, really, very rigid, fixed in their ways, not able to change, they might be really good people, but they are who they are, and they've been doing things, the same way since the advent of time, and they're just not able to find a creative way to break out of their rut. And if you yourself have been in situations where you're just like, I don't really like my job, I don't really like where I'm living, and you're forced to implement some major, major changes for your life right now in order to steer you in a better direction. Okay, so I definitely feel a lot of you are thinking about self-employment. I feel like you're leaving whatever this situation is because you're just like, I'm doing so much work and other people are reaping the benefits of it, so I'm being underutilized and underemployed. So I'm going to move on to a better thing, and I do feel that you are divinely guided here, okay? This is not a decision that you made lightly, and this is not a decision that came out of the blue. Like, it's been something that you've been ruminating over, or you kept in the back burner, and this is the month in which it's kind of like, yeah, enough's enough. I'm gonna start building for myself, and I know that I work hard, so I'm gonna build in a way where it benefits me. Okay, so taking back your power, reclaiming your power, knowing what it is that you're very good at and applying it in a way where it's beneficial to you. I do sense you kind of like emerging from behind the scenes and doing some massive healing, especially for some of you who are in mentorship and counseling, tutoring even. The people that you're dealing with, they're going to have some massive epiphanies and breakthroughs in a really good way. So if you've had that one difficult client and they're just like, my life is like this, and they've been stagnant for so long, I definitely feel some major breakthrough is coming through in their life where they are reassessing, the roles that they play and the ways in which they are contributing to the stagnation in their own life. You're going to see some breakthroughs from them as well. This is a card about healing. It's healing, cleansing on a deep spiritual level. Letting go of past situations that we felt like, if I had only done this, if I'd only done that, what if, I behaved differently? What if the other person was different? You're letting go of these past, like, what ifs, and you're moving on into a more healing energy. You're taking ownership of your own life as well. For others, there might be like work situations, breakdowns within the work environment that gets people's tempers flaring, and then people are pretty much being shown. I feel like I'm seeing some structural breakdown. So, if people have been slacking off in the work environment, they're going to be weaned out of that environment. And I feel like, I feel some type of a reprimand, okay? So someone is being chastised for their behavior and they might be leaving the work environment. I was picking this up, I have been picking it up for quite some time within your environment, and I feel like, Mercury retrograde is a good time for existing problems to be brought up, or recurring problems to come back up for re-examination, and I feel there's some type of a reprimand in your work environment and people being weaned out, okay? So there's a lot of beautiful positive changes that are coming through. So it's the Tower that comes out first, and I'm glad it's the Tower, not the other way where the Star and then the Tower. But I feel like something is being broken down and it's being re-examined and rebuilt in a really, really beneficial way. So this is very good. I feel healing old family issues, long-standing conflict with somebody who has been very fixed and very rigid. That's coming through, and I do sense you're going to make really, really good traction overall in your life, okay? Life purpose, life goals are being, you're basically coming closer to realignment with life purpose and life goal here with the star card. And the star card is also a very big wish card, okay? And it says here to do it big when it comes to finances. Take a gamble, do it big. You're going to be handsomely rewarded, okay? In terms of your emotional life, we do have the Ace of Swords as well as the Prince of Cups. So I do sense for a lot of you, I think, let's talk about this first. The Ace of Swords indicates a victory. This is like cutting through the fog, cutting through the confusion, pushing forward with a situation. So because you see the end result, okay? Going back to the initial message that I was getting for a lot of you, hard work does pay off. So if you've been working behind the scenes, maintaining a relationship, this is the month in which your partner, whoever it is that you're dealing with, is coming back in and reciprocating, okay? They're putting in equal amount of work and they're showing the appreciation for you. So this is like coming in a very emotional way. That's going to make you feel really good, and it's going to validate everything that you've done in the past. It's going to push you to even to continue what you're doing. You're getting confirmation, you're getting some type of validation, you're getting recognition on the emotional front from your romantic partner or from like an interest, okay? If you've been like I know that Virgos are quite shy. So if you've been eyeing somebody and you've like dropped little hints here and there, buying them food, buying them drinks, or dropping by, saying hello, saying goodbye every day, and you drop these hints, I feel like this is the month in which it's coming off, okay? All these little things that you've been doing, they're adding up to a big victory in a very, very good way, okay? So I do feel a lot of emotional nurturing and things like that is coming in, reciprocity, emotional exchange, coming through with another person. I definitely see communication breakthrough. If you've had a lot of problems talking over one another, that's coming through and that's being healed as well. If you are dealing with a water sign, specifically Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, I definitely feel there is some type of an offer coming through, potentially from a water sign. And you're going to have to decide how you want to proceed, because I feel like they're also very, very shy in their own right. So they're going to make themselves known, but I feel like this is something that you're going to have to be really quick about on the uptake. This person seems very shy, very standoffish. They've got like a whirlwind of emotion underneath them, but I feel like they mask it very well. So they're going to be like, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And I feel like the way that they throw it about, that invitation, is going to be very nonchalant. So you're going to have to read between the lines a little bit and be very fast on the uptake, okay? Just say yes. Just say yes. I feel that it's going to pan out really well for you. So there is some major, major victory on the emotional front. So whatever that means to you, I feel like you're getting some type of confirmation here where it is a yes. If you've been devoting a lot of your time, energy, courting, wooing, or trying to push a relationship forward, I do feel this is the month in which things are going to be really paying out for you in the emotional front. So really good to see, Virgos. Now, in terms of communication, we do have the Princess of Pentacles as well as the Ten of Swords. So, first of all, let's talk about this. This is the energy that you're bringing to the table. Okay, the Princess of Pentacles is somebody, this is the Page of Pentacles in the traditional Rider-Waite deck. It indicates somebody who is very young. They're not like, they're still trying to figure things out. And I'm going to say this first because it came through. If you're dealing with another earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, another Virgo, or a Capricorn, I feel like you're dealing with someone who is emotionally and spiritually a lot younger than you. So that can even be, you know, a parent who behaves in a way that is a little bit conventional, too controlling, too orthodox, too like biased in their views. It could be a romantic partner, for example, who was like raised on survival mode, and that means they came from an environment of financial lack. And I feel this is across the board. If you're dealing with somebody who grew up in an environment where they had a lot of financial worries, they had a lot of financial concerns, and they were constantly in survival mode, scrounging for the next opportunity, and they couldn't, do the long-term planning. And a lot of the times, for example, if we're living from paycheck to paycheck, and we're constantly having to worry about how we're going to make ends meet, how we're going to pay the bills, a lot of you could very well be going through this, but I feel like a small minority of you, whereas you're dealing with another person that is bringing the energy where they grew up in financial, emotional, spiritual, and also financial poverty. I feel like it really hindered their emotional development. And they might lash out in very unhealthy ways. They might have a very weak understanding of their emotional state. They might have a very weak understanding of life. They don't have a firm grasp on their foundation. And I feel that for a lot of you, there is going to be healing. I feel like you're providing some type of healing for this person so that they can see that, they're not the product of their environment. So you're going to help them overcome that sense of inadequacy. You're also going to help them overcome that sense of that victim mentality where, it's like, woe is me. I grew up like this and I turned out like this. It's not really my fault. I feel like you're helping somebody see that we all have free will, and that how they conduct themselves, regardless of their upbringing, how they conduct themselves now, is going to be of the utmost importance in achieving and the life that they want, and in mending that sense of self-esteem. So I do feel you're mentoring somebody, you're showing somebody the proper way to do things, and you're showing somebody, honestly, that hard work does pay off. So right now, they're kind of like at a crossroads. They can decide, do I want to push forward, work hard, and just push through this stagnation, push through this obstacle, or do I want to give up? And I feel like as much as you might want to convince this person, I don't feel that emotionally they're ready for that yet. And I feel it's going to take a lot more convincing, possibly till the end of this month, for them to see that they need to implement some new method. They need to implement a new way of doing, and they need to implement a different way of doing things so that they can achieve things that they want. Okay, so I keep going back to the message. I feel like you're dealing with someone from that has been going through a lot of hardships, and they're operating from a place of emotional and spiritual and financial lack, and they've never had time to do deep introspections in their own lives, okay? And as a result, they might not see things from your point of view. And it won't be until the end of this month in which they come around. On the other hand, a lot of you are in a main source of employment type of a situation. You're employed, and you're realizing that you're underemployed, or you're not being properly valued in your work environment. I feel that you're finally coming to the conclusion that this place is whack. I'm not going to put in the effort because it's not being reciprocated, okay? So I do sense you're going to venture out and you're going to move on from this work environment. And I do commend you for doing that, because I do sense, enough is enough. And I feel that you're overworked, underpaid. And I feel like overall there's a lot of disruption in that source of, there's a lot of disruption where people, it's not like a merit-based type of a system. There's some type of inequality. It's just unfair, and you realize that you might be making more money, getting a big career boost professionally in a different work environment. So you might be just enough's enough. Here's my 2 weeks notice. Or you might not even do that. You might just walk out. And I feel that, don't burn bridges, okay? Just put in your 2 weeks notice. get everything in an orderly fashion for the next person that's coming in to replace you. It's never good to burn bridges, especially when it comes to employers and supervisors and, work on the work front. In life in general, don't ever walk out on another person. Have that, stay calm and have that discussion so that there can be closure for both parties. And I feel like on an energetic level, it is really good for us to tie things up in a good manner, in a really good fashion with all of our interpersonal relationships. So don't leave things open-ended. Don't walk out. Just, calmly discuss how you feel and move forward, okay? But some situations coming to an end, it's like that crossroads moment where it's like one path, whatever path that you take, it negates the other path for you. So you're going to have to make some major decisions for this month, okay? Regarding work and finances. And I feel like honestly shifting from working for somebody else to self-employment because you're not getting the appreciation. And I feel like this, if you've been thinking about that for a while and you're lacking in confidence for whatever reason, I do feel your confidence is returning at an all-time high and you're going to be able to implement this move. So I'm really happy to see this for you guys, Virgo, because wherever you work, I feel that you're very good at your job and you do it very well, and you do it because it's not just only because it's expected of you, but because it's the right thing to do. And I feel that whatever situation where you feel like enough's enough, cut your losses, move on, okay? So in terms of your advice, the first thing we are looking at here is the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands indicates to me some type of a this is like the homecoming, okay? This is like coming together, incorporating other people into your home environment, having a welcoming party, attending weddings and things like that. Taking relationships to the next level is highly indicated with this Ace of Swords as well as the Prince of Cups and the Knight of Cups, excuse me. So like getting proposed to, getting a relationship off the ground, getting a relationship solidified, giving each other titles and names. So I feel like upping the ante in a relationship, okay? Taking the relationship to the next level, moving in with somebody is highly indicated, as well as marriages and weddings and things like that. If there has been like, I feel like a lot of you might be thinking about moving away from a relationship partner, if it's like enough's enough. And I feel like specifically someone who has been very rigid and they're not really making any strides to move this situation along. I feel that you're going to cut your losses. There will be talks and discussions, I'm sure of it. But I feel like you have been thinking about, I'm going to cut my losses and move on. On the other hand, I do feel a lot of harmony, a lot of wealth, material wealth, emotional wealth being brought into the household environment. And I feel like this might pertain to some type of a childhood home environment here with the Page energy. If you had like long-standing, deep-rooted sibling rivalry or even disputes with people that you consider family, there's some sense of a resolution. There's some sense of like coming together for this month in a really healing way, okay? And then financially, I feel like a lot of you might be thinking about, hey, why don't we do some reconstruction in the home environment? You might be upgrading home, purchasing property, because I feel like financially, you're in a really good space. And you have the financial resources to upgrade into a bigger house, shifting from an apartment to a house, or even trying to move into a bigger home. And I also feel like a lot of you might be shifting to self-employment. So you're just like, I need a 3-bedroom, one for myself, one for the kid, and even a study, like an extra bedroom to use as my office, to use as my study. So I do see something like that, some type of a future planning when it comes to property, when it comes to the place of living and things like that, okay? So expanding something where you are living, expanding some type of a structure. So for those who are business owners as well, expanding your business, hiring more people, incorporating more people into the fold, bringing more people in. And I feel like foundationally, this is a really, really big month when it comes to physical structure as well as foundational framework, in order to like laying down the foundation, laying down the framework in order to build something or rebuild something from the ground up in a more stable manner. Okay, so I feel like you're gonna really enjoy this month, Virgos. It comes with a little bit of like well, a lot of surprises, but I don't feel these are like out of the left field surprises. I feel like these are long term coming, and I do sense it's going to serve you well, okay? So we're looking at overall theme, challenge, whoops, sorry about that. And we're looking at the energies that are coming through for you, love and relationships. Oh yeah, I mentioned I was going to pull out the clarifier cards for the Tower and the other card, but I forgot. Sorry about that, Virgos. And your advice. Okay, and before we go on, I'm just going to do it very quickly, okay, because I feel like it's important, and it is your birthday time. So I want you to get all the information that you need. So let's backtrack a little bit. I know I don't like to do this. It's kind of annoying, but I'm actually curious. So let's just see. So we have the Tower here as well as the Ten of Swords. Let's see what it's linked up to, okay? Sorry for doing this, messing up your video, and it's not as organized as you would like, but let me just see. The Tower deals with the Five of Cups, and the Five of Cups indicates like regrets, disappointment, being in a situation where someone deeply on an emotional level does something that you didn't expect of them, but I feel like it's showing up in the reverse. So it seems like it's a ongoing thing. Like it has been done in the past, and it has been something that they're known for. Like someone might be always late, and you're just like, oh, it's Steve. He's always late. For example. So it's not coming so much as a surprise, but I definitely feel as well some type of breakthrough. This can also indicate drinking, someone with like drinking issues as well. So if you're dealing with somebody like that, playing the victim card, woe is me, or even like dealing with substance abuse issues. So the Tower coming through, meaning that they're seeing, when it comes in the reverse, they're seeing the detriment, and I guess like how they are working at cross purposes with themselves, and they're gonna try to implement some type of a change. It's a swift change coming through from your external environment, so I feel like it's not really pertaining to you. It's more like people overcoming barriers, obstacles in their own lives, and they're taking charge of their life in a very empowering way. Okay. Um, I pulled out the Ten of Swords here, and the Ten of Swords is linked up with the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands indicates some type of a project, idea, news coming through that's going to put an end to something so that you can begin something else, okay? I don't feel this pertains to love and relationships so much. I feel like it's more on the work front, on the project front. And there's a message here. This is a messenger that's bringing some really, really positive, outstanding news. If you've been waiting for some type of loans specifically, that's coming through so that you can begin some type of, even if you're like, if you needed to do some type of house repairs and you've been waiting on for some loans, I feel like some information's coming through in that end so that you can get some projects off the ground. Okay, so overall it is quite positive. So let's see this situation. Wow. Okay. So your overall energy here is the Ace of Cups. This is the great love. This is the great, great, great emotional experience, and you're guided to take the steps to achieve it, okay? And I say that because I'll show you the other cards in a little bit, but this is the great love. This is like great sacrifice, loving somebody on a very deep-rooted physical, emotional, intellectual, and also like on a very soul level. There's an element of a key here, and the key indicates to me, I feel there might be geographical distance between you and another person for some of you. I feel that they are very different from you ethnically, linguistically, culturally. I don't know why, but I'm getting that. And I feel like you are going to be pushed out of your comfort zone when you are dealing with this person, okay? So you've got great love coming, Virgos. You've got new love coming in, and this is somebody brand new. I'm not talking about like struggling relationships, because I feel like those things are going to be, they have been problematic and they're going to be put to an end. So depending on how you deal with this energy, whether or not you are brave enough, and I dare say brave enough, to go ahead with it, that's another story. But it's saying here clearly great love is coming through, great healing, spiritual love, and a very, very strong, passionate, emotional connection with another person. The challenge position here is the Knight of Coins. This is the Knight of Pentacles. This is like the slowest moving knight in the deck. So the challenge here is that you're not taking the steps that you are guided to take. You're not moving in the right direction. You're ruminating. You're sitting still, and you're blocking your own progress. You're blocking your own happiness, okay? Honestly, I feel like a lot of you might be in existing relationships, and I feel that you're not happy, and you're like attracted to somebody else outside of the relationship. Someone is really coming in, stirring your passion, and I feel that you're going to have to make a choice as to what you want to do. And the overwhelming advice here is that don't have an affair, especially not this month, ever. But, you know, don't step out of the relationship, because I feel like a lot of things will be brought to light. So I feel like you're grappling with this dilemma, okay? Like, how do I get the other person to notice me, for those who are single? And for those who are coupled, I feel like you're in total control, in the driver's seat, as to how you want to pursue your love life. But I feel a lot of you, the main thing is that you're stuck in one place. You're not really making a move forward, okay? So that's serving as your obstacle. You might have another earth sign that's hindering your progress. So this can be another Capricorn, another Virgo, a Capricorn, or a Taurus that is hindering your progress. Or it could be someone who's very, very slow to change, very fixed in their ways, and they're not really giving you any signals. So I feel like you might have to go out on a limb, okay? What's coming through here is the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles indicates building a foundation with another person, wanting to expand, wanting to move forward with another person. It's linked up with the Eight of Wands, which indicates to me this is like the swift communication, the movement card, okay? So a lot of you honestly might be seeing somebody in a long distance, and you're finally coming together and meeting each other this month. So I feel travel coming through, and things being built, a relationship being taken to the next level, things being built between two people in a very, very pragmatic, like practical way. So it's overall very, very good. The other thing I'm sensing here is we do have this character, which is an air sign, okay? Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And this is somebody that is in your midst. I feel like they were working at cross purposes with themselves. They might have recently gotten out of a relationship and they're trying to find their footing. They're just, reemerging on the dating scene, or you might have been dealing with them for quite some time. And I feel like they finally clear up clutter and past relationships from their lives. And I feel they're making themselves, or at least trying to make themselves, um, like emotionally, physically, and even mentally available for new dating opportunities, okay? I'm also feeling for those of you who have been having conflict with this person, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, there's something here that indicates to me clearing up, getting information that you need, knowing that maybe this person hasn't been completely 100% honest with you about their feelings. So that could be like hiding the truth, or even like holding back their feelings because they weren't emotionally ready at the time. So I definitely see some forward progression and momentum moving on with this person, okay? For others of you, we do have here the Six of Wands as well. It's shown up in the reverse. So whatever has been stalled, whatever has been really, really slow, and just, it took forever to get off the ground. I feel that you were frustrated and you're just like, I don't really want to push forward with this anymore. I'm not really getting the results that I want. I'm not getting any validation from them, and I'm not getting, anything to give me to push me forward, to like tell me I'm headed in the right direction. So that has been something heavily like on your mind, and I feel like there's some type of a breakthrough this month that will allow you to move forward. If you're dealing with an air sign and there has been a lot of blockages, and I feel like a lot of information might come to light coming in this month, and you might change your direction altogether, okay? You might like just pursue other opportunities, and you might just move forward in a different manner. I do see a lot of communication. I do see communication over distances. So this could be internet based, it could be remote, but I definitely see a lot of love and a lot of like outpouring of emotion coming through from other people to you. It might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable and you're just like, I don't know how I feel about this. So you might be slow to act, but I generally feel that options are being narrowed down pretty much. Options are being narrowed down, okay? In terms of your advice, we do have here the Two of Swords, which is basically the decision card, okay? In the upright position, it indicates being kind of blindfolded, um, guarding your heart, keeping people away at arm's length, not letting people in. And also, like, it's a situation in which you felt like you didn't have all the information you need in order to make a decision. So as a result, you did not make a decision. When it shows up in the reverse, it basically means that you're going ahead with it. You're taking that, leap of faith, and you're inching forward, okay? You're moving forward. In the past position, we do have the Nine of Cups, once again, pushing forward, not getting the results that you're looking for. And we do have the Six of Coins. So the Six of Coins is a situation where someone is very, very like emotionally guarded, and they're also quite stingy with their feelings. They might not know how to express themselves emotionally. They might not want to show their vulnerable side, and they might not want to like other people to take advantage of them. So I feel like you're dealing with someone who has been really hurt and disappointed in the past, and you have been trying to coax them out of their shell. And this is the month in which you're like, I put so much work in, I put so much effort in, I'm not getting anything much in return. So I might have to, just move away from this person. And I feel in the process of moving away from this person and giving them the space that they needed in order to find themselves, to sort out their lives, because I feel like their lives, their lives are a little bit chaotic, and I feel like it's like they're dealing with another relationship that they were trying to end. So you gave them some time, and allow them that space to emotionally move on. And I feel a lot of you might be it might be air signs and water signs. Okay, so Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. I'm sensing fire sign too, so I'm just not going to mention the signs, but I do sense very strong water energy too and air energy. And I feel like in the process of taking a step back, giving them the space to sort out their own lives, I do sense that they're coming back to you and they're being a little bit more clear with their communication and a little bit more methodical and purposeful and directed with their intentions. So I definitely feel like that's a plus for you, okay? What I feel overall is that for others of you who might have had like, if you're in a relationship and you're being tempted from your environment, you have temptations coming through, like people who are pursuing you. I do feel that coming through for those of you who are coupled up. Okay, your energy is really high, and especially when like the sun is in your constellation, it boosts your power of attraction. And this is across the board. It's very standard. Um, you have the gift of the gab, and you have the power of persuasion. You have high, immense attraction as well. So you might be tempted. You might have a lot of communication coming through from your external environment, from people who are interested in you. Do as you will, but I do feel that playing the field, like juggling multiple people is not going to end well. So just be careful about that, because Mercury in retrograde is a big time for secrets to come to light. I don't see secrets and things like that coming to light in this spread, and I feel that you're very cautious about who you get involved with, so I don't see that happening here. But I definitely feel one relationship ending so that another one can start. Okay, one relationship ending so that because you have like options coming through for you, so you're not keeping yourself stuck and on hold. Okay, and I'm going to pull out one more card here with this Nine of Cups in the reverse and see what it relates to. So what does this Nine of Cups relate to as overall advice? We do have the Four of Wands. Once again, this is a marriage type of a situation. I feel like somebody is having marital issues, and they're re-examining a situation to try to salvage a relationship. So if you're also in a relationship and you feel like, I don't really know what to do, I'm really in love with this person, but the evidence, the physical evidence shows me that we're not compatible and things like that, I do feel some type of a breakthrough happening, where if you've been dissatisfied, I do feel that someone is coming around and they're opening themselves up, and they're being especially more generous with their feelings and able to express themselves in a more harmonious manner to your own emotional needs. Okay, so overall I do feel it is a positive experience for some of you guys. I do wish you the best, Virgos. I do see a lot of family reunions and things like that coming through, and that's really going to test the strength of your relationships, okay? Whether or not someone has faith in you, whether or not someone really understands on a deep level what you are doing, okay? And one of the things that you want to be mindful about is surround yourself with people who understand you, okay? So like if you find yourself having to over explain yourself, your motives, your intentions, and the other person just is not getting it, they're not on the same page, so you might want to reassess, okay? So I'm going to leave it at that. I will be back for the mid-month reading. I wish you all the best for your birthday, and be careful about driving, okay? So don't overindulge and drive. And then on alcohol. And if you like a private reading, please visit my website. The information is in the description box below, where you can see my availability and your birthday. Bye-bye.